So today's show, it's going to be all about Pam Bondi because, of course, as everyone is aware by this point, Pam Bondi, she testified in front of the House on Wednesday, pretty much mostly of most consequence, the Epstein files, but she also testified about ICE, a whole bunch of other really just government abuses and corruption that is happening under her watch. Really, what she was there to testify about was how she can't do her job.
Yeah, and if we could just set the scene, I want to remind folks that Pam Bondi was the replacement for Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is an interesting pick given the context of this hearing that just happened. But Pam Bondi also essentially accepted a bribe from Trump back when she was investigating Trump University when she was working in the Florida state government. And now she's the attorney general with an immense amount of power to run cover up for Donald Trump. That's Pam Bondi's history.
Well, Trump loves putting lawyers that he previously paid money to in positions of power. Yeah. And they are just doing the absolute most.
Pam Bondi is also somebody, this is something that we covered back when the second Trump administration was first starting. Pam Bondi was somebody that the Washington Post said was a serious pick. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember that. That shit was
during
insane.
The confirmations.
Man, oh my God, man.
I love liberals, dude.
I feel like I just got hit with the flashback of a time that never should have been. Yeah. Because I feel like everything is so bad now. But when we forget things like the Washington Post damn near endorsing Pam Bondi, we forget the groundwork. We forget what laid the groundwork to get us here in the first place. And it's motherfuckers like that. It's motherfuckers who think that we need to seriously consider the people that Republicans are bringing up. Think that we need to seriously consider Republicans in general. And if anything, the entire 5 hours that Pam Bondi was testifying in front of the House should tell you that these are people that are not to be taken seriously. These are people that should be fucking humiliated and laughed at because they're awful and damn near evil. And I want to play you this one clip before we get into the discussion of the majority of what she talked about. But this is very topical. It's about Trump and it's about the Epstein files. Some are saying they're the Trump files with how much Trump is named in these things.
It's the Trump files. Epstein barely appears compared to him, dude.
Exactly. It's crazy. So this is Ted Lieu asking her a question. Let's roll the clip.
Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
Long pause.
This is so ridiculous.
Dude!
And that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence.
They're trying to deflect. They're trying to deflect.
That was like 8 seconds of silence.
Yes.
That's the answer.
Yes. All for her to accuse them of deflecting, deflect into Trump's quote unquote accomplishments, and then say there's no evidence, as if she forgot, because I don't think there's no evidence.
Well, and that's the ball game, right? He asks her, was Trump ever partying with underage girls? And she just doesn't answer for 8 seconds, just complete silence after hearing that question. That's her saying yes.
Well, it's like she's thinking in her head whether or not she should perjure herself.
Yeah, exactly.
She's thinking in her head, oh, should I really take this one?
Her last working brain cell is if you lie right now, there's a real possibility of going to jail in a few years.
Yes.
So you need to have enough plausible deniability so she just deflects, which was most of the hearing, by the way.
Exactly. And it's like that part one for a second where she's like, she deflected. She refused to answer the question to avoid perjuring herself. And then she said it. Yeah. And then she said, no, there's no evidence, to which I think Ted Lieu goes on to confront her about that and say, I believe you just lied. I believe you just lied, swearing under oath. I believe you just perjured yourself. And then she got mad. She's like, how dare you accuse me of lying? But it's like,
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Nah, man, My Democrats shed the title of My Democrats just for this hearing. They locked in.
They did lock in.
They locked in.
It was nice. And I'll just give you a demonstration of how I would have handled that interaction. Go ahead and ask me the question.
Oh, has your president, the guy you're running defense for, partied with any underage girls?
No. It's that simple. It's that simple. One thing that I think is going to summarize sort of our thoughts of the entire Pam Bondi hearing and what's been going on at the Epstein files is that Pam Bondi, whether or not her name appears in those files doesn't matter because she is spiritually in the Epstein files. The way that she is running defense for everybody in this thing, the way that she is defending Donald Trump shamelessly, and I mean shamelessly, puts her spiritually into these Epstein files.
Well, I mean, and we'll get into it, but she gets out here and she's like, why should I tell you anything about the Epstein files when the Dow is up? The market's booming. Who cares about the biggest pedophile sex trafficking ring in history?
Look at the stocks. Yeah. Why are you asking me about the one thing that everyone is united on caring about? Look at the market.
I know the vast majority of Americans don't own stocks in a real tangible way, but look, the market's booming. Who cares about the pedophiles running this country and the world?
Exactly. Guys, just stop worrying about that.
Awesome, dude. I love it.
Good country we got here.
Welcome back to Head in the Office, everybody.
Yes.
You're tuned into the HITO broadcast. We're bringing you more news. And like we said in the beginning, it's Pam Bondi hour, man.
It's Pam Bondi hour.
Pam Bondi crashed out on C-SPAN.
Yes, sir.
Crashed out on C-SPAN, and we got to talk about it. A little bit later on in the show, we're also going to talk about everything is Palantir, the surveillance state. More bad things happening there. And then we'll end with some lefty drama.
Some lefty drama.
We got some lefty drama.
Some lefty drama, some electoralism drama. Who knows?
And it's all one and the same.
Who knows how it's going to go?
But before we get into the news, thank you for tuning in. We are going to ask you and beg with you to just become a patron. Like,
come on.
It's not that much.
It's not that exact, guys, the Dow. The Dow.
The Dow is up. So become a patron. Liquidize some assets.
Invest your money here. The Dow is up, and Pam Bondi is using the fact that the Dow is up right now. I believe it just hit a historic high as a means to run cover for the pedophiles that run our government and the world. We need to lower the Dow. You need to take your money out of the Dow and put it into the Head in the Office Patreon. That's the only safe place you can have it right now. And what's Pam Bondi going to do when she comes in front of the Senate or the House again? She's going to be like, oh, HITO's up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, HITO is up.
She can't say that. And of course, it's not just charity. You get early access to all of our stuff and commercial-free episodes. And this Friday, tomorrow, for our patrons listening, the day that this drops, we'll be releasing a special interview episode that we did with a very special candidate running here in Michigan. So stay tuned for that. That's dropping on Friday for patrons, on Monday for everybody else. So if you don't want to wait the weekend to hear this bonus episode of HITO, you got to go become a patron.
You got to, guys. And I'm telling you right now, it's a good one.
It's a good one.
If you like our interviews recently, if you listen to our latest interview, this is the opposite. And that's all I need to say.
Anyways, another way you can support the show, follow us at all the socials down in the description on the YouTube, both channels. All of that is down there. And lastly, you can leave a 5-star review.
Come on, guys.
On Apple Podcasts.
It's the most enduring free way to support the show.
In the first review that we have here from Megala Ladonkadonk.
Huge.
The #1 independent partisan NSFW 7 compliant tertiary geopolitical distraction. Restoring my faith in Midwestern white boys, one base take at a time. I didn't realize how starved for sane leftist takes I was until stumbling upon this pod on TikTok a few months ago, but I am now a dedicated HITO head and as of yesterday, a Patreon soldier. It's genuinely healing to hear these boys talk about current events with the appropriate level of outrage directed at the appropriate sources. Big on good things are good and bad things are bad.
Huge.
I especially love to hear grounded coverage of #MyDemocrats derogatory.
Let's go.
That actually holds these leaders accountable to basic moral standards. Also, I mean this in the most complimentary way possible. These boys talk like they're on 1.5x speed and it hits the brain just right.
Hell yeah.
Keep up the good work in calling out insanity, corruption, and hypocrisy embedded in American systems and reminding us that we can and should demand more from our government. And of course, condemn.
Condemn. I agree 100% co-sign on that one. This next one from Jenna from Palestine, free Palestine, from a fellow Rust Belt brother. Keep going.
So true.
And I will.
So true. This last one from Sad Jets Fan 101.
Oh.
New Jersey up $1 million for once. This is a certified incredible 5 out of 5 tertiary news source. Just a note from someone who attended Annalia Miha's rally with Bernie Sanders. Her name is pronounced Annalilia Mahiha.
Yes.
I'm gonna hope I did that. So, man, whatever. I believe. As a New Jerseyan or the most centrist state in the union, I am proud that as I am writing this, it is likely that Meha will represent my district in Congress much better than Mikey Sherrill. And I do think she did win the election. I think that was confirmed like yesterday or something.
For real?
Like that.
Let's go. Confirmed.
So,
let's go.
The anti-APAC candidate.
Anti-APAC candidate. That's the one where APAC kind of like split the race between the two centrists that both ultimately fuck with Israel.
Yes. And then the progressive one. And that's the type of shit I love to see.
That is just kind of the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Like I can't get that out of my head, man. They just spoiled the race because some dude wanted one minor restriction on Israel after the fact, too. I'm not saying that like the genocide's over. I'm not saying that they're not still killing people in Palestine because like they basically are like Israel moment.
Well, they just got the last Israeli hostage out and then they kept bombing. Yeah. So the pretense is gone, but they're going to keep doing it.
Exactly my point.
Yep.
So it's like that's what's going on. But it's like we're past the point where it's like massive mainstream public outrage because people think that there's a ceasefire, yada, yada, yada. And now everyone is coming out and being like, yeah, I guess we could condition aid. It's the most like spineless like point ever.
Yeah, or it's like, yeah, I guess you could call it a genocide, but like whatever.
Yes,
it's a lot of that going around. It's a lot of that going around. And we will remember, folks, so lock in. Anyways, I believe it is time to get into the news here. Thank you for leaving those reviews. We'll read our Spotify reviews at the end if you want your review read. Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star review, or Spotify, leave a comment.
Yes.
And we will get to it at the beginning or the end of the episode. Anyways, it's time to talk about Pam Bondi running cover for her pedophilic president and this administration as a whole.
Yeah, it really is time to talk about Pam Bondi. It's really time to dive into Pam Bondi because I believe like the only thing that Pam Bondi showed up to this hearing prepared to do was deflect, deny, and bring up dirt on the people that were questioning her.
Yep.
That's it. She was not prepared to actually, like, I don't know, do her job. She wasn't prepared to actually, like, have reasonable answers for why things in the Epstein files had gone redacted when they shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Why anything else has happened. She only showed up prepared to insult the people that were questioning her.
Yes.
And glaze Trump to levels that we have never seen before at one of these hearings.
Yeah, it really did seem like she had an audience of one person, and that one person was Trump. Yep. And I want to say that they're looking for a sacrificial lamb in Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem or Kash Patel or one of these goobers that has clearly fucked up so many times. But I don't know if the Trump administration is capable of doing that.
I don't think so.
Because it would require them to admit that they fucked up at some point, and I don't think they want to do that. But the context of this hearing, and I know we get silly with it. We're quirked up white boys. A little unusual, even, you might say. And we like to make lots of jokes. We like to laugh at the absurdity. But truly, the context of this hearing is that this administration has for more than a year been running cover for the most prolific child sex trafficking ring maybe in global history.
And it really has been for more than a year.
Yeah, for more than a year they've been doing. I mean, like it started when Pam Bondi did the propaganda photo shoot, right? And then she's been lying since then. In July, she said the case is closed. And now, of course, we're still talking about it. They have been running cover for people in this administration, more than just Trump, but like people throughout the entire political system that are implicated in these files. They've been running cover for them. And she showed up to this hearing to answer no questions about that.
Answer not a single goddamn thing, dude. Not a single thing except, no, Trump's not in the files.
Yeah.
Like, except pause and then decide maybe I can actually tell the truth or the lie. I don't fucking know. Everything that they've done continues to, she constantly brings up throughout this hearing, President Trump is the most transparent president in American history.
Because he's been forced to be, or it leaks.
Exactly. He's been forced to be, or it leaks. It is not because of any of you. It is not thanks to any of you. You guys stand in the way every single fucking time. Yeah. And she continues to stand in the way. It's crazy. And I wanna take some moments to talk about the deflection portion of what she came prepared to do and the insulting her, like the people who are questioning her. Because at one point, Jasmine Crockett is talking about how not only Trump is one of the most, talking about how not only is Trump one of the most named people in the Epstein files, but also about how like the DOJ under her watch is just allowing blatant corruption. Okay. Jasmine Crockett took like a minute to just kind of lay into her, and it was good. It was fun to watch. And Pam Bondi responds with the following. This is directly after Jasmine Crockett's speech, if you will.
I find it interesting that she didn't even want to try, Congresswoman Crockett, to ask any questions, because she certainly did not condemn her leader, Hakeem Jeffries, for taking money from Jeffrey Epstein after Epstein was convicted. And I will be brief to give you your time, Congressman. This is what she didn't want to talk about. Texas, from Cuba.
What
convicted, homicide, arson, weapon offense.
What?
Convicted. So what are we talking about? Convict some of these perpetrators that rape these women that are sitting behind you, that you refuse to even acknowledge they are here.
I'm showing. Imagine showing up to a hearing to defend your administration who's running cover for pedophiles, and the only thing that you can come up with is immigrants.
Immigrants. Look at what this one immigrant. Look at what these two immigrants did.
Two convicted immigrants.
And it's funny too because like she really did. These aren't just like two random like immigrants that she just pulled out.
She had that shit printed.
I wouldn't put that past the administration. Just grab two random immigrants that did anything wrong. She prepared for this by grabbing immigrants from each of the like questioners' districts that were convicted for crimes. And so those people were from like Texas, or I believe Jasmine Crockett's district. Yeah. There were other like House members that had questioned her, and she did the same fucking thing. Yeah. She just pulled up pictures of immigrants convicted in their district. You're being asked about one of the most prolific and insane child sex trafficking rings ever that once again involves the richest and most powerful people in the world, many of which are in our own government, in Trump's cabinet, like Howard Lutnick. Yes. And you want to pull up, look at this immigrant who did something bad. Are you serious?
And like the Hakeem Jeffries mention is crazy because like I saw the photos of Hakeem Jeffries and Jeffrey Epstein together, and like incredibly valid. Investigate him too. I don't fucking care.
Well, that's
but
the
you know
thing.
who else was meeting with Epstein post conviction?
Oh.
Howard Lutnick.
Yes.
Howard Lutnick was meeting with Jeffrey Epstein post conviction, but we don't talk about that.
But like whatever. But she dodges those questions. She dodges those questions. She dodges the question about other administrative officials, and she zeroes in this time on Hakeem Jeffries. And I want to say, like, first, fuck Hakeem Jeffries for that.
Exactly.
That's bad. But you cannot be Pam Bondi, and you can't cherry pick. You can't pick and choose who's wrong for being associated with Epstein post his 2008 conviction. And that's all she's doing. This is all just cynical. You can't be the person who's responsible for redacting names that were involved with Epstein, not only post 2008, but were listed as possible co-conspirators before that, and then say, oh, what about your leader, Hakeem Jeffries? I can guarantee that most of those people probably don't fuck with Hakeem Jeffries like that. Like, nobody does. Nobody likes Hakeem Jeffries. Nobody's running defense for him like that.
And it was mostly like old white dudes getting invited to this stuff.
Exactly.
Like that was kind of the thing. I mean, like some of them were just like either Jewish or just white supremacists. Like Hakeem Jeffries might have been involved in those circles because he was a useful tool for them as a politician. You know what I mean?
True. This is true.
Like that's all that is.
Fuck Hakeem Jeffries. Like I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care. Investigate him. You won't.
Yeah,
I know you won't because you won't investigate anyone else. They tried to do like an investigation to Bill Clinton, didn't they? Like, didn't the DOJ try to open up an investigation to Democrats that were involved in the thing?
Yeah.
And that's how we were going to say they were going to use that to like hide things that were coming up. They're shameless.
Yeah.
And going to the immigrants thing, the fact that she actually took the time, or her staff took the time, to print out pictures of immigrants who committed crimes to use as a deflection from her pedophile cover-up is the most Trump administration thing I think ever, right?
It is.
How many undocumented immigrants are in the files? I don't know. Probably only the victims.
Yeah, no, exactly. Probably only. No, it's just, it's crazy to have that shit prepared.
Yes.
Like she's like, this guy's from Cuba, an immigrant, convicted of a crime. First of all, convicted. Unlike any of the people named in the Epstein files aside from Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yes.
I don't know, man. That shit's insane.
No, it sucks. And I just if I were to pick 1 minute that would sum up Trump's entire second term up until this point, I think it would be that. Because it's Epstein files, and it's blaming immigrants at any cost for anything, everywhere, every single problem. It's the fucking immigrants. It's the brown people that are coming over. That's all this administration has done. All that Trump's people have been doing for the last year and some change is deny that the Epstein files exist and blame immigrants for everything. And it's all right there in that one deflection. It's insane. They just deny, deflect, and blame immigrants. It's the only trick they have, and somehow it feels even more shameless now than it ever did before.
Well, it's so blatant. Like there's no pretense anymore. It's just like, hey, I'm not going to answer any of the questions you have about Trump being connected to pedophiles, like the pedophile king, but I will show you some brown people that did something wrong.
But look at this immigrant. But look at this immigrant that did something. It's like, it's a caricature. You couldn't do satire of this. If The Onion wrote this, I'd chuckle and scroll.
Like if anybody that catches this news is convinced or distracted by that, I think you're hopeless.
No, for sure.
Like, because there are dead enders, right, for Donald Trump. I don't know how many of them, but I do think there's a good portion of the MAGA base that, like, a video could come out of Trump doing something clearly terrible from these Epstein files, and I don't think they would abandon him. They'd find some way to rationalize it. But like, if you look at that and you are convinced or distracted by her just bringing up immigrants to dodge a question, like, I think you're hopeless, dude.
No, absolutely.
There's nothing I can do to help you.
You got to be a special kind of brain broken, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you sit there and you're like, oh yeah, Epstein files, yeah, I'm mad about that, and then you see an immigrant on your screen, and you're like,
jangling keys. It's jangling keys. 10 hours of jangling keys, man.
It's fucked up, man. And as CNN reports, Pam Bondi just deflected multiple times away from questions to bring up immigrants who committed crimes in the questioning members' districts. That's insane. Instead of actually giving a shit about the crimes that Epstein committed, Pam Bondi just showed up to the hearing with a fucking burn book. She showed up to the hearing with a binder that she had her staff pre-prepare insults for. That's the Attorney General of the United States. This is the top cop in the country. This is one of the most powerful people around, so much power at her discretion, and she's using our time, taxpayer time, the American people's time to prepare insults so she doesn't have to answer questions about a pedophile cover-up that the DOJ may or may not be complicit in.
Yeah, and like the implication is, oh, you guys should be talking about these dangerous immigrants instead of the Epstein files. And it's like, the hearings about the Epstein files.
No, yeah.
Like that's why you're here. I don't know, man. It feels stupid to say it, but it's like sometimes we got to focus on something.
Yeah, exactly. Not everything can be every issue. That's why distraction politics is dumb.
Yeah.
You get Pam Bondi going up here at the healing. You guys are just trying to distract from the invasion at the southern border with the Epstein files, and I believe it. I don't know. People would believe it, man. Everything's a fucking distraction. It's crazy.
I just like, can you imagine Pam Bondi or any other Trump official talking about like any other ethnic group the way they talk about immigrants?
No.
Like if she was like, here's these pictures of Jewish people that committed crimes, like come on, we would know what that is.
Yes.
But because they're brown immigrants and because there's like a level of plausible deniability, it's incredibly thin, but it's there for them at least and the people they talk to. We just have to deal with it.
And it's also like, I feel like the label just immigrant in general gives them a nice out, and it's just like a catch-all term for racism.
Well, they say illegal immigrant like it's a slur.
Well, exactly. And like you said, like they can't say like, look at these Chinese people coming across the border. Look at these Mexican people coming across the border. They kind of got to say immigrants or like Latin American immigrants when they actually like try to be a little more racist on it. Because when you actually narrow it down to an ethnic group, it's flat on its face what this actually is, and it's just racism. Yeah. It's just them being dickheads and not liking brown people.
And that's already, like, that sentiment's already there.
Yeah.
It's just they can hide behind immigrant being like a legal status versus just being an immutable characteristic of them being brown.
White supremacists hiding behind legalese.
Exactly. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Guys, this has never happened before.
Yeah.
This is a completely new phenomenon. But like I said, she showed up with her fucking burn book, just a book filled with pre-made insults. Like they had the immigrant stuff in there, just insane. That's the HITO thing. Yeah. That's I can't us. Even. That's for me, right? Yeah. That's for us specifically. But she also had things in there, like she brought up votes that members made on so-called like anti-crime legislation. She brought up why people didn't do this to Merrick Garland. She would get asked a question. She'd be like, "How come you didn't ask Merrick Garland this?" I don't know, man. He's not here right now. He's not the current attorney general. Merrick Garland wasn't parading around and going to people like us, influencers, and saying, "Guys, look, I got the Epstein files. Here it is, here it is, here it is." Just kidding. Guys, look, I got the cell block footage. Just kidding. Guys, I found the missing cell block footage. Just kidding.
And it's like, sure, you can criticize Merrick Garland for not doing anything with the Epstein files that they had at the time. But like, is she not just a continuation of him?
Exactly. Like aren't you doing the same thing then?
Like you're saying nobody criticized Merrick Garland. First of all, I think plenty of people criticize Merrick Garland and are criticizing Merrick Garland today. But is she not just doing the same thing she accused him of?
Exactly. At some point, you have to be accountable. Like at some point, you have to realize that even if there were multiple people that failed in the past to do whatever, you're the person that's responsible now.
Yeah, right. It's been more than a year.
Yes. And you said you were going to do this. You said you were going to release. She said, "I have the Epstein files sitting on my desk right now."
About a year ago,
and then I'm going to release them. And then she fucking did it.
And then in July, she was like, "Yeah, case closed. There's no co-conspirators. We're moving on."
This is all just one big fucking mess of her and Trump's own making.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that, man. It's crazy.
I do think that she's like the weakest link of this administration.
Yeah, like she's so visibly bad.
Like I'm starting to have more respect for Dan Bongino for getting out when he did, because I think he could tell, this shit's going to crumble around us. And if I don't get out now, I'm going to go to jail, which he still should, to be clear. Like he's still done some bad shit and lied in a number of ways. But like, I think there's got to be the smarter people of this administration got to be sensing that like, this is a Hitler in the bunker moment. You know what I mean? Like it's if they don't succeed here, it is just over. Well, unless my Democrats come in and forgive them.
Of course. Well, which is probably the most likely thing. Because I was thinking through this, like when I was like watching footage, when I was watching the coverage, when I was watching the clips, when I was reading the articles, I was like, she's got to go to jail, right? Like there's got to be like something that happens, right? Like if it eventually does come out that like, DOJ covered up crazy for pedophiles, which That's where the evidence is pointing right now. But if it ever came out like so clearly that even the news had to like actually report on it, she's got to go to jail.
Yeah.
Like there's no fucking way that she can walk around free, but leave it to my Democrats to free them. We'll have a what is it, clemency for the Confederates moment.
Yeah, probably. Or just
like,
a Richard Nixon moment.
Yeah. So that would suck bigly. Another thing that she brought up, like, cause again, like I cannot stress enough how crazy it is to me that she showed up with a binder full of pre-baked insults against the people questioning her. At one point, she brought up a vote that a Jewish member of Congress took against condemning the phrase "from the river to the sea" as anti-Semitic.
That is not what the point of this hearing is.
That's what I'm saying. The deflections are crazy. This is absurd. I don't know how else to put it.
At one point, I think it was Jamie Raskin was essentially appealing to the chair of the committee and saying, like, she's just filibustering here. Like, she's deflecting. She's buying her time. She's just trying to get through this. And he told Pam Bondi, he was like, I told you the rules before you came here because I saw what you did in the Senate committee. And she started yelling at him.
She fucking freaked out.
And then she like called him a loser lawyer.
Yeah.
Like, that a loser like what are we?
She's like, you're a washed up lawyer. You're not even a lawyer. Like under her own, and it's like, well, are you a fucking child?
No,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
This hearing was giving like some like mom who spends too much time on her town's gossip Facebook group. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of person that gets too invested in like petty drama and fucking bullshit and can't actually like, I don't know, look inward at how much she's the problem.
Like I almost feel like Matt Gaetz would have done a better job.
Probably.
Well, he's got experience. He's got experience covering up pedophilia. You know what I mean? Allegedly.
But, like,
no,
exactly.
it's crazy to just like throw a tantrum and be like, loser lawyer. You weren't even a lawyer.
And that was just the whole thing too. Like the whole 5 hours was just throwing a fucking tantrum, man. And it's embarrassing. And it speaks to what we were talking about earlier about how she's like got to be uniquely bad.
Yeah.
I like there's got to be something that happens, even if she came into this administration like a cogent person, a regular person who's just a little bit evil. Like some normal Republicans, right?
A serious person like the Washington Post said.
Of course. There has to be something about like looking at all those Epstein files, pretending to do the influencer thing, and actively running a cover-up that fucking breaks your brain. Right? Yeah. Because that's got to be what's on display. Like this is it's not even cognitive dissonance, I don't think.
Psychic break.
Because she's refusing to engage with anything. She's refusing to come up with the kind of explanations you would expect from somebody who's like fully ideologically like bought into whatever this is.
Yeah.
This is just a person who's just fucking breaking. I don't know, man.
I don't know. I think a lot of these people like her and Kristi Noem and Pete Hegseth, I think a lot of them are just shamelessly seeking power.
Yeah.
And they,
well, there's no ideology. She just wants power.
Yeah, she just wants power for power's sake. Like I think like dudes like Marco Rubio, I think are smarter than most of the others. Like I think he's an intelligent guy. He's evil, but I think he's an intelligent guy. I think Pam Bondi and Pete Hegseth and Kristi Noem and Kash Patel and all the people like them of that cohort are incredibly stupid, but are geeked to have power.
For sure.
And that's what this looks like.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like I don't think there's any morality you could find in her, or like previously, I don't think there's any morality in her at any point, really. I mean, she accepted a bribe to drop that Trump University investigation. But I think that these guys are power hungry and dumb as hell. And that's what it translates to.
I think there's like a little bit more to it, right? Because I don't know if it's just like attorney general for attorney general's like power for power's sake, because like we'll talk about it in a second. The levels of glazing were fucking insane, dude. Yeah. The way that she is just like, I don't even know. Like she cannot say Trump did anything wrong, not even in the context of the Epstein files, but part of her deflections are just glaze Trump. Yeah. Just meat ride, flag on the play, like insanely. And so it's like, is there like a loyalty there? Like, I feel like this is what dictatorship looks like. Like, I feel like this is like just were loyalists like loyal to the guy because there was something, or were they loyal to the dictator just because they gave them power?
But I feel like even in like typical dictatorships, like you look at Nazi Germany or Italy or whatever, like, yeah, there was a lot of sucking up to dear leader.
Yeah.
But I feel like this was even a bit much.
No, it was. This would have been a bit much for Hitler, I think.
This is the type of shit where Hitler goes, all right, kill this guy. Because he's going too far. Like, obviously.
He's undermining the movement.
You got to talk me up, but this feels like satire.
Yeah, like it almost feels like she's making fun of him.
Yeah.
It almost feels like she's making fun of him in the way he's the greatest president ever. But before I get to that, I want to stay on this burn book thing, because there's one part of it that really is just so much worse than anything else. The immigrant thing, that's horrible in its own way, but that's like kind of hilarious in the fact that is uniquely Trump administration.
Yep.
But this, Bondi's prepared insult research even went so far as to include a representative's search history from when they looked at the unredacted Epstein files.
Oh. How the fuck did you get that information?
There was a page in her binder titled, I think, Pamela Jayapal Search History, and it was a bunch of documents that she looked at when she went in this week to go look at the Epstein files.
Is she like wiretapping people?
Dude,
what the fuck?
She's literally fucking spying on people. Like, Pam Bondi is literally spying on Congress people who go to view the unredacted Epstein files, because that opened up this week to go see, to try and use their search histories against them in her efforts to defend the pedophiles in those Epstein files. You can't tell me that's not fucking evil. Like, you can't tell me you do that when you're the good guys.
Also, like obviously, cops can get your search history, right? So if you're going to commit a crime, don't look up how to commit that crime.
Yeah.
they'll get your location, they get when you search that, all that kind of stuff. But like using that against Congress people who are looking into you protecting pedophiles.
But it's like what? It's not even just like looking up their search history on the DOJ website. So this week, like I was going to talk about it later, but this week it opened up. The DOJ has like 4 computers set up, so Congress people can go and view the unredacted versions of the files that have been released.
Okay.
So they can do like oversight, blah blah blah. There's been some news to come of it. There's not like crazy information. What information did come, I'll get to in a minute. But,
okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. But either way, that's been a thing. So Pamela Jayapal went. She looked at some unredacted files this week, and that was allegedly her search history from that session.
What did she look up that was so incriminating according to Bondi?
There was nothing. There was like nothing. It was just the names of a bunch of files. It was like an email exchange, but it was in her binder. She didn't bring it up, but it was in her binder as a page that she could like refer to.
That's crazy.
Which is fucking insane. So I said, that's not something you do when you're the good guy.
Essentially, we gave you access to these computers and we tracked what you saw.
Yeah.
Is what she's saying.
Yes, that's kind of what it is.
That's insane still.
Right?
That's crazy.
Right? What the fuck are you doing? It's just like this insane breach of something. Like there's like checks and balances things here. There's like you can't do that type shit going on.
Yeah.
Like a congressperson is allowed to go in there and like do their oversight.
Oversight's like a key function of the government.
And you're like not supposed to spy on them and with the potential to use that against them in the future.
Especially considering that like Pam Bondi is unelected.
Yep.
She's an appointed official. All the people going in to look at the unredacted files like Pramila Jayapal, she was elected by thousands and thousands of people to do her job of oversight on the federal government, on the executive branch specifically. And Pam Bondi tracking that, I mean, that's crazy. An unelected bureaucrat tracking members of Congress and what they're doing. It's insane.
It's deranged.
Insane. Yeah.
Like, that's not what the good guys do.
It's dictatorship.
It's genuinely fucking evil. This is all like dictatorship. And I gotta say, like, if I had the opportunity to go look at that thing, I was surprised that the emails or her search history wasn't just Trump.
Yeah. Well, that would have been
That's the first fucking thing I'm doing is I'm Googling Trump and I'm looking up everything.
Donald, Don, DJT, Trump.
I'm trying to hit different like spellings of Donald Trump to catch any typos. That's what I'm fucking looking up.
Well, yeah.
But it was like the web of like co-conspirators or whatnot. It was probably actually trying to find something. Donald Trump. Yeah. That's what I'm
she's more principled than I am.
Precisely. Yeah. She's got another job to do. And like, how do people like Pam Bondi live with themselves lying like this?
Yeah.
That's got to be part of what's breaking her. That's got to be part of why that crash out happened, right?
Yeah, man. And it's so obviously a catastrophe for them in the public eye. Like there's no way for Fox News to even spin this. This shit is just it's a tantrum on C-SPAN, and on top of that, the tantrum is to run cover for a pedophile sex trafficking ring that implicates the president.
Yes.
It is again, it feels so easy to get lost in the sauce here. It is so far beyond anything that Nixon ever did. Nixon
literally
was gonna actually get removed before he resigned.
This has got to be like the craziest scandal ever.
Yeah, no, it is. It's got to be the most like damning scandal in U.S. history. I can't think of anything worse than this.
Well, it's like it has been to bring down like the world. Like people in the UK are getting in trouble for this. Keir Starmer's getting in trouble for this, and he's not even named in the files. He's like 2 steps removed from people who were named, but because he was associated with people who were associated with Epstein, he's getting in trouble right now. They're like the Dutch royal family were mad at themselves for like involvement in this. Fucking all the shit that happened with Andrew, formerly the Prince.
Well, you know shit's bad when like the British are holding pedophiles accountable.
Precisely.
The British? Meanwhile, of course, nobody's been held responsible here. Nobody stepped down from their job in the United States.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, man.
But now I think it is time to get into the glaze session. I think it's time to talk about how Pam Bondi just insane levels of meat riding here, and I want to play you a super cut from the Daily Show of all the deflections that Pam Bondi engaged in.
Have you apologized to President Trump? Have you apologized to President Trump? All of you. I find it interesting that she keeps going after President Trump, the greatest president in American history. You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. He is the most transparent president in the nation's history. Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over. The Dow is over 50,000. Have you apologized to President?
She can't even come up. She can't even come up with another speech. Just Donald Trump. She runs a loser. The Dow. The Dow. And then she goes on to continue and she's be like, Americans are blah, blah, blah. Their retirement accounts are booming. Their saving accounts are booming because the Dow's up. And this is what you want to talk about? Yeah.
Who cares about accountability for the pedophiles running the country when the market's booming?
Guys, money. Like, isn't that also what this all was about too? Like fucking money. Like these guys were pedophiles because they had so much money and didn't know what the hell to do with it.
Yeah, well, also, like, the Dow was up under Joe Biden. Like, you can make the same argument back when they pretended to care about the Epstein files. You could have said, hey, the market's up. Why the fuck does anybody care about the Epstein files? But, of course, that's not what it's about. The Epstein files are not about the fucking stock market.
No, they're about fucking pedophiles in the government.
Pedophiles and corruption, yeah.
Pedophiles and corruption, dude. It's insane. And that's just like a snippet. Like, that supercut in like, I don't want to say in a normal administration or in a normal world, because none of that happens in a normal world. But, like, in a slightly off-kilter world, that's like all there is. But that's just like a fraction of the crash out. Even those little snippets were snippets from longer crash outs too. The whole thing was a Trump, Trump, Trump. And she sounds like she's gonna fucking cry the whole time.
Yeah, like she doesn't know what to say and she's just eking it out, man. And that shit was like 5 hours long.
Yeah.
The hearing was 5 hours long. Like, we're not even scratching the surface of the level of crash out that she had. And man, it's crazy.
No, it's crazy. And it's just like, what? When she's not lobbing strays at immigrants, she's just glazing Trump. She's just going crazy on Trump. On the verge of tears because she loves Trump so much. Donald Trump is the greatest president in history. The DOJ is supposed to operate.
At her before she came out.
True. Maybe she knows that when his time's up, she's going to jail. And that's why she's crying. Yeah. Maybe that's why she thinks he's the greatest president in history, because he's stopping her from going to prison. I don't know, but leave it to my Democrats to not make that a reality, man. Who fucking knows? But I got to say, like, what also makes this crazy is that, like, the DOJ is supposed to operate separate from the presidency.
So that's a joke.
They are not supposed to be the president's personal lapdog.
Okay, Kamala Harris.
Okay, Kamala. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to hear that so many times when I'm hearing Kamala Harris do whatever. We couldn't go after Trump because we didn't want to get involved with Merrick Garland. We wanted the DOJ to be an independent agency. And yes, I can aspire to those ideals. That's like a good idea, that the president doesn't get to just weaponize justice. But when the attorney general is being the president's number one cheerleader at a congressional hearing, something is deeply wrong.
Well, and it's not just that. I mean, she's opened like a million different cases into his explicit political enemies.
Yeah.
And they've all flopped. Like, she keeps losing in court. She can't get indictments on any of these people. But it's like, we know what's going on here. He's saying, hey, indict that person, and then she does it. Like, that's the one thing that matters to the Trump administration. It's not competence. It's not intelligence. It's just if they'll be loyal to him. And Pam Bondi seems like she will do anything. I mean, because if you're willing to do this, there's not anything you won't do.
Yeah.
She will do anything to be loyal to this guy.
She's in the goddamn ninth circle of hell. I don't think you can get lower. I don't think you can get lower, dude. This has got to be like humiliating too. Like, I feel like everybody in this administration is just going on a fucking humiliation ritual that we're involved in, but they don't feel humiliated. It's just kind of us. Well, it's just me that feels humiliated. That these are the people that are supposed to lead the fucking country. Yeah. You had Scott Bessent trying to say he was a fucking farmer. You have Scott Bessent, Howard Lutnick during the tariff situation, arguing about how tariffs are actually great, arguing about the ChatGPT equation that Trump put out when he first had a Liberation Day. Every time these people go in front of the media, it's to defend the most awful things, and they don't have enough shame to recognize that they're humiliating themselves. And that matters because these people are ruining the world.
Yeah, and it feels lived up to say, but it is embarrassing that these people run the country I live in. You know what I mean?
It is.
Because like this is a global network of pedophiles that implicates just about every Western government and governments associated with the West, like Saudi Arabia, for example,
and Israel,
and big on Israel. Israel is all over these files, especially, and the media does not talk about that. But Ehud Barak was like besties with Jeffrey Epstein. But the point is that like this implicates damn near everybody in the West, including Israel, including Saudi Arabia, and these other countries that sort of orbit the West. And we're incapable as a country of doing anything about it.
Yeah.
They're laughing at us. They're dabbing on us.
We are a fucking laughing stock, dude. And like you said, it feels lived up, but sometimes they cook.
Sometimes we got to be lived about it.
Sometimes you got to live up a little bit, man. Because how am I supposed to, like, people are having conversations about, like, we need to take back patriotism, bro. How? bro, what am I supposed to be proud of?
I can't do that on a personal level, let alone a fucking political program based around it. Are you kidding? But what is there to be proud of, man?
Everything sucks so bad. And it's like, it's not even like it's a humiliation ritual for them. Because like I said, they have no shame. It's a humiliation ritual for me.
Yeah.
Because every time I have to watch these people go and speak on Fox News or in congressional hearings now, I subject myself to levels of shamelessness I didn't think were possible.
Yeah.
And I feel like it brings my spirit down.
And they can't quite do the vice signaling thing about this, but it does feel like they're saying, yeah, we're pedophiles and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And to a large extent, right now, it's true. There's nothing we can do about it. And that sucks, man. There's nothing to be patriotic about.
We have to rely on these people's conscience.
Yes.
Oh, fucking kill me now.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, if you gambled on their morals, you're losing all your money, buddy.
It's fucked up. I do want to highlight something that Representative Jared Moskowitz said. He said, quote, Trump's name appears more times in the Epstein files than God's name in the book about God. And that's a fucking banger.
That's an NFL stat line, man.
That's insane right there.
Crazy. I did see, I think it was Ro Khanna that said Trump's name is mentioned 1 million times.
Oh my God.
For reference,
1 million times
1 million
in
times.
the 6 million document thing?
Yeah, he said, because Ro Khanna was one of the ones to go and see the unredacted Epstein files. He said Trump's name appears 1 million times. For reference, like you said, 6 million files. Trump isn't a sixth of the fucking files. Are you kidding me? That's the Trump files, man.
6 million files, 3 million of them we've seen.
Yeah.
They got to be hiding like all the other ones. That got to be all the Trump files.
Like Trump is referenced like what, as many times as Israel is? Like, come on, man.
Birds of a feather.
Birds of a feather.
Birds of a feather. They fly together, man. I do want to take a second to highlight that, like, 6 million files. I didn't know that until like today.
Yeah,
I didn't know that there was like 6 million files that the DOJ had.
Well, I mean, look at everything we've got so far. What do you mean that's half of it?
Exactly. They've only released 3 million, and people are still pouring over that, and we're still kind of learning new information from all the information that people are like connecting, all the people that are being implicated, blah blah blah, like all the shit that's going on. And you're telling me there's still 3 million more left?
Yeah, and I think Pam Bondi said like, oh, those other 3 million are just duplicative, right? Yep. Like it's copies or fucking whatever. Stop lying. Like,
stop lying. No, exactly.
I don't believe you.
Exactly, 100%. She said it was duplicative information. She said it's everything, but we just know that's not true.
Yeah.
Like other representatives pointed out, like, we know you don't have this document. We know this document exists. It must be in those other things. That's not duplicative at all. And if it was duplicative, if it was just redundant and stating the same information again, why wouldn't you just release it?
I was just about to say you could just release it and prove us wrong. You could just
release it all. Like, once again, I don't want to say like they think we're stupid, but like they do, because it's like corny to be like they think we're stupid, but it's like that is the situation.
Yeah.
They think they can just come up with lies, just like back of the napkin lies.
Yeah.
And just say whatever, and people will believe it, and people will fall in line. Because for a while, I mean, to give them credit when they don't deserve it, I feel like people did just believe anything Trump said and anything that the figures that Trump had propped up said. But you've taken it too far.
Yeah, you've taken it way too far. One other thing that Pam Bondi did, one of her other crash outs, was Pramila Jayapal. She calls out some of the survivors that were there, some of the victims that are sitting in the back of the room that they were in, and essentially says, stand up and then raise your hand if you haven't had a meeting with this Department of Justice yet. Well, because one of Pam Bondi's main lines was that, like, we're the most transparent administration ever. We want to hear from all the victims. We'll meet with you whenever you can. All of them raised their hands saying, I have not had a meeting with Pam Bondi. Pramila Jayapal looks at Pam Bondi and says, will you apologize to these people for not prioritizing them? And Pam Bondi calls that theatrics.
No, it's
acknowledging the survivors is theatrics.
It's even crazier because what like happened before that was Pam Bondi said she was, quote, deeply sorry about the abuse that these survivors suffered at the hands of the, quote, monster that was Jeffrey Epstein. And then that happens. And then she refuses to apologize to all this. There was another line. I can't remember if it was when Jayapal was questioning her or when it happened again, because they did the survivor thing again later on, where she said, if anyone has any information, the FBI would be happy to hear it.
Yeah.
No, the fuck they would. The FBI, I know now from the files you released that the FBI has a litany of information that could implicate people that was not investigated. And she said, if you have information that could lead to investigation, we will investigate it. No, the fuck you won't. You're here to talk about how you haven't investigated any of this.
There was a bunch of like anonymous tips, like a dozen anonymous tips from young women that said like, hey, Trump victimized me.
Yes.
You didn't investigate those?
Yeah, no, literally.
Those are in the FBI files.
To fucking call it theatrics is insane. One, these are always theater. Like these congressional testimonies, it's always theater. But to look, when the victims, the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein are standing behind you and saying, no, you're not doing enough, you're going to respond to that by saying, look at this fucking clown show over here.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
We've really fallen, man. Like it's too much. Like I feel like even in Watergate, those guys were smug, but they would have at least performatively said, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
But this is beyond to call apologizing to victims, to call that theatrics. Come on,
no, literally. And you know what she did during that exchange as well? She said, "You didn't do this to Merrick Garland."
Like what? You're essentially Merrick Garland too.
Dog, you're evil.
Yeah.
Like, dog, you are just fucking evil. Yeah. I'd like it if you just like wore it on your sleeve or whatever.
Yeah, no, I guess not.
Yeah, that sucks. But that's the Bondi crash out. And we mentioned the unredacted files, so we will take a minute to talk about those too, because that's like, it's not as big of news yet as I thought that it was going to be. Like, you think, oh, we got the unredacted files, it's going to be huge, blah, 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 Trump pedophile. Not yet. There's 3 more million documents we got for that to possibly happen. But in the meantime, I mentioned it before, but on Monday, the DOJ opened up the ability for congresspeople to go to the Department of Justice and view the unredacted versions of, I think it was only the 3 million files that they've released so far. Don't quote me on that. It could be all of them. I don't think it is, though, from what I've read. And the results pretty much confirm what we've thought broadly, in that there were names redacted that shouldn't have been, and the information present is incredibly disturbing. Classic Epstein files moment. Notably, Rep. Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie found out that there were 6 names that were inappropriately redacted from the release of the files. They then went and named the names of those 6 people on the House floor. I think Thomas Massie did. He just read off the names. That's pretty gas. That's pretty cool. Among the 6, notably, we found out who the torture video guy was. Inappropriately redacted name, but I do want to issue a correction beforehand. I believe I may have said prior that the person who was redacted said, "I love the torture video." That's not true. Jeffrey Epstein was the guy who said he loved the torture video. That this guy, I think the implication there is that he sent Epstein the torture video. Arguably, I think that's worse.
There were 2 dudes involved in a torture video.
2 dudes and a torture video that was being set between Jeffrey Epstein and who was the Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, who is one of the United Arab Emirates' most powerful business leaders, according to CNBC.
Naturally.
That's the torture video guy. So while he didn't say he loved the torture video, he clearly must have, because he sent it to Jeffrey Epstein, who loved it.
Every ally the U.S. has in the Middle East is just like the most evil country.
Yes.
It's like Israel, UAE, Saudi Arabia. Like, these guys are all the most evil guys. It's actually insane.
And it's just wild that, like, the implication here is, again, that he sent Epstein the video, or he recommended Epstein the torture video. Guys, that's not good.
No.
I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. That was a very improper redaction, if you ask me. There were also some other things that implicated some other people. There was questioning about that at the congressional hearing, but it's all fucking crazy and developing, and more's going to come out.
Yeah, more's going to come out. I do have a bit here on Ghislaine Maxwell, though, because apparently Maxwell appeared before the Oversight Committee recently. And took some questions, but refused to answer anything, essentially invoking her Fifth Amendment rights over and over, which she has the right to do, of course. But I will say it's Ghislaine Maxwell, little suspicious to invoke her Fifth Amendment right repeatedly. And I think we know why she did that. David Marcus, Maxwell's attorney, said, quote, "If this committee and the American public truly want to hear the unfiltered truth about what happened, there's a straightforward path. Miss Maxwell is prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump. Only," and this is the kicker, man, "only she can provide the complete account. Some may not like what they hear, but the truth matters. For example, both President Trump and President Clinton are innocent of any wrongdoing. Miss Maxwell alone can explain why, and the public is entitled to that explanation." Essentially, pardon me and I'll say you're innocent.
This is literally what's going on here. What do you mean, I won't talk unless you pardon me, and if you pardon me, I'll say you did nothing wrong? Come on, dude.
You got to appreciate her roping the Democrats in on this, though.
You got to appreciate that, too. And you got to kind of appreciate the audacity.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even be appalled by it, because it's like you would. Like, why wouldn't you? Honestly, like, if I had done something horrible, and I was supposedly in prison for the rest of my life, even though she's not even in prison, she's in fucking Club Fed. Like, you can hardly call that a prison,
in a
right?
hotel, a resort, essentially.
A goddamn resort with a puppy. Where she can do whatever she wants to the point that guards are complaining about it. Sure, that's a prison, whatever.
You can thank Todd Blanche for this one, Yep,
if I'm locked up for the rest of my life, I'm doing anything I can to get out, too. I'm going to be like, oh, that guy didn't kill him. Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, I did it. Pardon me.
Exactly. She was a part of the child sex trafficking scheme for Jeffrey Epstein. You think that she'll have any like moral hangups about lying to Congress? Like, come on, man.
You think she's gonna not lie under oath?
Yeah.
Come the fuck on, man.
It's incredibly just on the nose. It's so unsubtle. It's crazy.
And Trump is still refusing to say that he won't pardon her.
Yeah.
Insane.
Caroline Leavitt was asked, I think, like 2 days ago about this, and she was like, "Oh, we haven't talked about it."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You haven't talked about like one of the craziest things ever, really?
Yeah. She was asked, like, is he going to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell, and she essentially said, "We haven't talked about it." And of course, before that, he was like, "Oh, I could."
That's like fucking 9/11 happening, and 2 weeks later, you're like, "Yeah, I don't know." I haven't watched the news. What the fuck are you talking about? No, I haven't talked about that with anybody. I don't really know what's going on. Really?
No, we're not going to address it.
One of the most important things going on, perhaps ever, in the country's history. I don't know.
I think Caroline Leavitt also implicated, or she might have straight up said that like they're moving on from the Epstein files now. And it reminds me of that one guy who wrote the op-ed like early last year where he was like, Epstein files, count me out, essentially saying it's a conspiracy. Then it came out that he is actually in the Epstein files. And it's like, sir, you've been counted in.
Maybe, isn't her husband like super wealthy and rich?
Yeah, he's old too.
He's old too. I wonder if he's in those.
Maybe.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just wondering.
I'm asking questions.
I'm asking questions. You can look up his name, whatever his name is, man. Yeah, everything is bad and sucks now.
Everything is bad and sucks. Does that wrap it up for?
I think that wraps it up for Pam Bondi. I can't think of anything else that happened that like sticks out at me. I'm sure there was again, guys, a 5-hour hearing.
Yeah,
and I just wanted to focus on it happened yesterday, and I just wanted to focus on the Epstein stuff. I know there was other shit, but like, nothing could possibly ever be as crazy as this.
Yeah, some people pressed her about like the ICE agents that killed those 2 people in Minneapolis. She was pressed about a number of other important things, but like, the Epstein stuff is top of mind.
Yes,
and she responded the same way to all the other shit too. Like, focus on the Dow. Who cares that we killed people?
Focus on the Dow. Who cares that we killed people? What about these immigrants? And admittedly, like the immigrant deflection works better when you're talking about ICE.
Yeah. Well, it's like line go up is one of those like lefty memes that we would use to make fun of right wingers. Right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, who cares that I've killed a bunch of kids? Line go up. But now she's literally just doing it.
Well, everyone's Biden.
Yeah.
Everyone is Biden. Look at the graph.
Yeah.
Look at the graphs. The numbers going up, guys. I didn't do anything wrong. Look at the graph.
Yeah, numbers going up. You can't afford anything, but number is going up.
You know, sometimes it just feels like all the news happens on Monday and Tuesday.
It's messed up.
But my favorite podcast drops episode on Wednesdays. I don't know what to do. It feels like they miss all of it.
That's a curse.
If only there was a platform that I could go to where I could listen to these episodes early, maybe when they record them. Do you have any thoughts?
Boy, do I have a solution for you.
Oh, do tell.
If you head over to patreon.com/headintheofficepod, you can listen to Head in the Office episodes before the curse of Monday and Tuesday news comes out.
Really? Do tell.
And you get access to commercial-free episodes. And everybody wants commercial-free episodes.
I bet there's also a whole host of other benefits and community engagement that they offer.
And friendship.
Very true.
Who doesn't want friendship?
The most important thing.
Absolutely.
In times like this.
Back to the episode. I think it's time to move on to the surveillance state.
Yeah, that sucks too.
I do want to talk briefly about the surveillance state because it might have implications for the HITO community. And that's the only time I care about things. Is if it will
affect me.
When it hits me. Yeah, exactly. So you might have seen that ad from the Super Bowl with the Ring cameras. Essentially, Ring doorbells are advertised as having this new function called Search Party. And this allows your Ring camera to be used to find lost pets that have been reported missing in your neighborhood.
If you don't think that's going to be used
should immediately
against you.
Yeah, you should go and check out the ad because it's incredibly obvious what's going on here.
It's like a camera scanning a dog and it's like 99% match. This is your dog. And it's like, what's stopping them from doing that to you?
And that's exactly the point of this, right? Because you may be wondering, how is Ring going to accomplish this, right? They're going to have essentially like this AI data set that is able to track down if your pets run away. Well, they're partnering with Amazon-owned Flock Safety. This is a surveillance tech company that's known for working with law enforcement.
Hell yeah.
And obviously Ring rejects the notion that their devices would be used in search party mode to hunt for people, or that data would be funneled immediately to law enforcement.
ICE is absolutely going to get that data.
But exactly. Ring's been working with hundreds of police departments for years now. In 2019, they were reportedly working with over 200 police departments across the country in this program that allowed users to voluntarily give up their Ring footage when law enforcement would ask them for it. Of course, if you get hit up by law enforcement and they say, give me your footage, you're going to think, oh, I have to.
Exactly.
Which is kind of how that worked out.
Because it feels illegal to say no.
And then, to your point, the data from Flock Safety, the third party that's going to be like administering Search Party, that data has already made its way to ICE.
I didn't even pre-watch. I didn't even know. Damn.
ICE has gotten a hold of Flock Safety's data many times.
We haven't talked about it much because honestly, it's like complicated, and I haven't found the time to read about it. But maybe I should if there's ever a slow news week ever. But there's been a lot of reports about how ICE is using like AI tools. They have AI databases. There's that one video, the ICE agent scanning that woman, and he's like, you're in a domestic terrorist database now. They've been using a bunch of AI tools to do things. They've been using a bunch of like geolocating, blah, blah, blah.
Well, they partnered with Palantir. They paid like $30 billion to Palantir or some shit like
they're like trying to triangulate, blah, blah, blah locations. Like it's science fiction bullshit that they're using to surveil on immigrants.
Yeah. Well, essentially what Palantir does, and it sounds like, when you talk about it, it sounds alarmist.
Sounds like conspiracy.
Palantir essentially just scrapes data from as many sources as it can get its hands on, then it feeds it into like an AI algorithm, and allows it to track people down that way. And Israel uses Palantir. Israel, obviously, right? Yeah, obviously.
And now AI partnering with Israel.
ICE, of course, trains with the IDF, is using the Palantir software to track people down.
Why is everything Israel?
And now Ring might be plugged into Palantir data sets as well. So it's like everything's Palantir, everything's Israel, everything's Epstein.
Fuck yeah, man.
Like it's absolutely insane.
I used to think that evil things like segregated themselves into lanes.
No, it's all one.
I used to think you specialized, but I don't know what the point is, but it's all converging on one point.
It is all one thing. To make matters even worse, Ring also has a program called Familiar Faces that uses AI to, and again, it sounds crazy, but this is on their website. It uses AI to scan guests so your Ring camera can like notify your phone and tell you who's at the door. And they deny that this Familiar Faces program would be integrated with their search party feature. But like, you got to be insane.
Why wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't it? You could make so much money selling that to cops, selling that to ICE, selling that to the FBI. Why wouldn't they do? Oh, I have 2 tools that integrate seamlessly, but I'm going to keep them separate. Yeah, and it's everyone like, thinks you're stupid.
And all this shit's like owned by Amazon. Like it's all going to be vertically integrated. You know what I mean? Yes. Like there's no question about it. So here we have a surveillance system that's present on homes and residences and businesses across the country. These Ring cameras or these Ring doorbells. And they're rolling out the search party feature, probably in some way powered by AI. This company has both companies at play here have regularly worked with the police and ICE. And we're just supposed to like hope that it's not doing mass surveillance. Why would they not?
Why would they not? Like, I feel like every time we've had to hope that people aren't mass surveilling us, whether it be a company or a government, they have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just straight up, man.
Like the Patriot Act was a bad move. Just unequivocally.
Whenever the door has been opened to surveilling on you, people have taken it even further than what was originally like intended for it. It's just what happens. We were talking about fucking what's the AI pricing? Dynamic pricing.
Yeah,
a couple months ago, like Instacart doing dynamic pricing, charging you exactly what you will pay for something more than somebody else. Like it's all fucked up and it's all used to fuck you.
Yeah, and it's gonna be like all of these AIs, whether it's spying on you through fucking Ring surveillance systems or the Instacart stuff, like it's all going to be incredibly racist.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be like it's gonna scan a black person or a brown person and immediately alert ICE, or if you're a black person or a brown person going to shop, it's going to jack up the prices on you on certain items because it's racially profiled. Like it's going to be evil.
Yeah,
it's all just completely evil shit. And so that's Ring. That's the Ring doorbell commercial, and that shit was crazy.
Yeah, that shit was great. It was also crazy how like all the Super Bowl commercials were AI.
Oh yeah, it was all
half of them were just slop.
It was all like you're AI or you're too fat and should take a pill.
That was actually so funny though. The Maha commercial with Mike Tyson, I'm fucking fat and stupid. That was good.
Dude, the Maha commercial was insane.
It was so jarring, like, because I was like on my phone, and then halfway through I'm like, oh, that's Mike Tyson. What the fuck? I was gonna kill myself. What the fuck are we talking about? And then all of a sudden I say pay for my Maha, and it's like, oh, I know exactly what this is about. I was eating 40 tubs of ice cream a day.
On top of all of that, everyone's favorite community program, Discord, is also unveiling its surveillance tech, which has some implications for HITO. Discord said that in March, users are going to be required to upload an ID to verify their age. And if you don't upload an ID, Discord will try to determine your age using the data it already has or facial scans.
Okay, lovely.
Whatever the fuck that's supposed to entail.
Nice, man.
Who knows what they're going to be scraping off your computer or their servers or whatever. Of course, this is doubly troublesome because Discord's third parties had a massive data breach a couple of months ago, impacting thousands and thousands of users. And like, it's already fucked up because you shouldn't have to upload your ID to like talk to your friends on Discord.
Yeah.
Like, you should be able to get on the computer without submitting all of your personal information to the programs that you want to be able to use. But it's even worse when you consider that like there's a lot of leftist communities on Discord, ours being one of them, of course, that this regime would absolutely crack down on if they got access to IDs from the servers. That sucks.
Yeah. That sucks hugely. And it kind of sucks that this just kind of feels like where the internet is going.
Yeah.
Like, it just seems like everything is just slowly turning into upload your ID to be able to do this. And it's like, I don't really like that.
Yeah, I don't like that either. And this is where I was going to reference that thing you brought up earlier, like the Palantir AI being used with ICE and ICE agents walking up to people, taking a picture of them and saying, you're a domestic terrorist now. Like, that's the kind of shit this will be used for if a government like Trump's gets their hand on this data. And why wouldn't they?
And it's like, it's not like it couldn't before, but it's so much easier.
It's worse now. Well,
if it's worse and easier.
If you've got an ID ID associated with your account, they just instantly know who you are.
Yeah, they got your driver's license number.
They could just come and fight.
You're fucked, buddy.
Again, I don't want to be alarmist about any of this. I'm not trying to like scare people, but this like the surveillance state shit is definitely real. And as AI is tooled specifically to do that kind of stuff, this will only get worse.
Yeah.
And so needless to say, if we have to, we will be looking for a Discord alternative. Stay tuned for that if we need to switch platforms. But Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks awful.
Not great at all. You know what one of my favorite activities is?
What?
Reading.
Oh, I love reading. I love literature.
And one of my favorite things to read are the reviews we get on Apple Podcasts.
Always.
Not only do I love to read them, but it's a really great way to support the show. If you want to help us out, go and leave a 5-star review on Apple. As always, we read them here on the show. And if you want to make me happy, if you want to become my non-parasocial friend,
that's right.
One step on the 1,000 steps that it takes to get there is to leave a 5-star review on Apple. We'd really appreciate it.
Just remember, my friendship, it's for sale. And
Precisely.
if you want to become one of my friends, you can go to the Patreon, or completely for free, you can leave a review on Apple. And even if you don't want to become my friend, don't you want to see another human smile?
Exactly. So consider leaving a review on Apple. It really helps out the show. It's a free way to do it. And you'll be one step closer to being a real friend of ours.
Exactly. Now with that, back to the episode.
Now to end off the show, I suppose we could talk about some lefty drama.
I love infighting.
I love infighting
I love drama. This is a drama channel.
It's one of my favorite things. We can start off with Mamdani. So Mamdani Stan obviously is going well.
Yep.
Zoran's been doing some good stuff over in New York City. He dealt with a snowstorm. He's unveiled. So he's going after landlords like he promised he would. He's working on that childcare program.
He got funding for the childcare program.
Yeah.
Like he got Kathy Hochul to like commit to actually funding it for New York City.
And where the outrage comes in is that Mamdani, I believe last week, endorsed Kathy Hochul. Now, there is a governor's election in New York. Obviously, in the state of New York, the real contest is going to be in the primary because, like, a Republican's not going to win.
Yeah.
And Kathy Hochul has not been a friend to the left very much. She's pretty much a centrist Democrat. She kind of sucks. And Mamdani endorsed her very early on, as I believe a DSA candidate had announced already as well.
Eric Delgado, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of people got mad at him, essentially saying he's bending to the establishment and stuff like that. And this could end up being, to me, this is a question about strategy, right? Like, this could end up being the completely wrong choice.
Yeah.
He might have genuinely fucked up here, but I think the calculus for him is probably that the DSA shouldn't be dumping a ton of resources into a governor's race that's ultimately going to go to the establishment candidate, and him taking on a protracted fight with Hochul over this, whatever this primary is going to end up being, would just mean that his agenda stalls permanently.
Yeah, I think he risks so much more by not doing this, because when you think about like the mayor of New York City, the governor of like the state of New York, there's not really much Mamdani can do to put pressure on Hochul to get his agenda done, other than like the massive amount of support that Mamdani has. And I'm not discounting that. That's obviously huge. But it's like he can't really give her anything other than this.
Yeah.
So I think he's taking the gamble that if he gives her his endorsement, if she goes on and wins, then she's going to repay him by continuing to support his agenda and maybe widening the things that she will support. I don't know what they've talked about in the background. Hopefully they've talked about some stuff, but I'm going to I'm going to choose to believe in Mamdani here. Like, it's just, I think I can see the strategy here, and I'm going to choose to believe him.
Yeah, it is troubling because it sort of echoes the AOC strategy of, you know, get rid of an unpopular moderate candidate and be a progressive, and then sort of make nice with the establishment so that you can be at the table, not in the Cory Booker kind of way, but so that you can be present in the workings of the empire, essentially. And at least according to my approximation, that sort of failed for AOC.
True, but when you're AOC and you're doing that, you're one representative out of what, like 496?
Exactly. And Mamdani's the executive of the city.
Yeah.
So there's a difference.
He's basically like the top guy in the state. Like, who gives a shit about the governor? You know what I'm saying? Like the mayor of New York City. Yeah, that's what it is. You're the second person in the state, like second most powerful, whatever. There's a lot more actual individual power that Mamdani can exert in this circumstance.
Yeah, and the way I see it ultimately is that Mamdani has to succeed. Like, if Mamdani's project fails or even makes things worse for people in New York City, that's going to push back any rise of the left for another, decade, 20 years, something like that. And so for him to win, I think he's going to have to make a lot of maybe unpopular decisions like endorsing Kathy Hochul, so that over the course of the next year, he can get as much done as possible. Because really, it's like he's got like, what, 6 months to a year to actually make these improvements. Otherwise, people are going to start souring on him too.
People get mad.
Like, he's got to move he's got to move quickly. He's got to move with aggression. And I think that's probably the calculation he's making. And again, this could end up being a fuck up that defines his political career going forward. I'm not saying that I know that this is the right move, but to me, that's the sense I get, is that if he fails, the left everywhere is going to struggle. He can be a sort of example of how the left can govern nationwide. If he succeeds, we can point to him in every other race we're running progressives in, especially at like the local level. But if he fails, because they get into like a protracted fight over this primary, then that will fuck everything up.
That's exactly what it is. Like, we don't need to try and like force the win now thing, because we can win bigger if Mamdani succeeds. Like, and I think that's kind of the calculation that he's making in his head. Like, why get into this protracted fight that's not like guaranteed? I don't think everyone can be a Mamdani. I don't think every like long shot candidate can get there. I think it was kind of a long shot that like Mamdani won, like in the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean? Sure. So yeah, I'm gonna hope it's the right decision.
I hope so.
I'm gonna reserve the right to criticize it like later on, but right now I think I see the logic, and I am going to choose to agree.
And also, like, running a governor's race would take a ton of resources from the DSA.
Yes,
like it would require quite a few resources. And it's, again, that's not even like to say that it's guaranteed that the progressive could win here. Again, there's a whole lot of like you can have your disagreements, you can propose your own strategies. I think that's entirely valid. I don't know if this is the right strategy, but that is what I think.
And so far, Hochul has been like okay about Mamdani's agenda. Like he got the childcare thing. She's kind of punted on taxes, but it's like maybe that's something that he's having conversations with her about, where when she wins the primary, she can actually execute on after he gives an endorsement. Hopefully there's something like that going on. Yeah. Right. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, I don't know. You can't really make a call about it until afterwards.
Yeah. It could prove to be a major fuck up. Right.
Yeah. And if it is,
who knows? Who knows? I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Because like Mamdani, he has the largest like microscope on him, the highest magnification on him, other than any other like state or local person. He's got a higher amount of scrutiny on him than Kathy Hochul herself.
Well, and that's why I'm saying, like, if a regular blue dog Democrat fucks up their governance somewhere, it essentially doesn't matter. Yeah. But if he fails, or if things go dramatically wrong, everybody from the center left to the far right will point to him as a reason progressives should never have office again. Yeah. And we need to avoid that. We need to avoid that. He's been given and I say we, like I'm a part of the administration here, but like the left broadly needs him to succeed so that we can engage in leftist projects everywhere else across the country and point to him as the prototypical example.
Well, then could you imagine how annoying the anti-electoralists on Twitter would be if Mamdani failed after doing this? And frankly, that's what I'm thinking. I have to be Team Mamdani on here because if this doesn't work, then I have the most annoying people ever.
Well, and I sort of we've sort of already seen that with like his people criticizing him over like not being a true anti-Zionist or something. Have you seen this kind of drama?
No, I know there people. Are you talking about the like Free Palestine stuff? Like people are saying he's like a Zionist because I can't even remember what he did, but it was the most like banal statement.
Yeah, they said he moderated in some way, or maybe it was some kind of anniversary or something like that. Maybe it was when the people were protesting outside the synagogue about I can't remember exactly what it was.
Fuck, I can't remember what it was.
But they were essentially
I do remember the drama though.
That he's betrayed the anti-Zionist movement. It's like, guys, come on.
Yes.
Yeah. please, like, he's probably one of the most anti-Zionist elected officials in the country right now.
For sure.
Relax. Just chill out. Relax. Chill out. Let this dude cook as mayor, and we'll see what happens.
That's funny.
But yeah, in other lefty infighting news, we gotta talk about Hassan Abi,
friend of the show.
Hassan Piker, friend of the show. Waiting for the invite. Essentially, he was on. The reason we're talking about this is not because we usually cover internet drama, but I think it's important for the future of the left as a whole. He was doing some kind of podcast and was essentially asked if he'd vote for Gavin Newsom. And he said in 2028, if he was running against J.D. Vance, and he said, no, I'd vote third party. And now, look, we've made our proud electoralist takes known to everybody before, right? We are in favor of harm reduction voting and stuff like this. But the dogpiling to me is crazy for someone like Gavin Newsom specifically, because it's like, why are we demanding that people pledge fealty to Gavin Newsom 2.5 years before a general election? Like, say what you will about harm reduction voting. I think there's still some utility in that, but the primary hasn't even started.
Yeah.
And yet, if people get out here and say, hey, I don't want to vote for Gavin Newsom because he likes to hunt homeless people for sport, that person is accused of like aiding and abetting the Republicans.
Yeah, like now,
can we have like a semblance of a democratic process, please?
Now is the time where like you're allowed to do that. Yeah. Like now is the time where it's like least consequential to be like, I am not voting for that fucker.
Yeah.
And to do whatever you can. Like say what you will about like the strategy there. I don't know. Maybe I disagree a little bit, but it's just like, I'm not going to get mad at somebody for saying that right now because we're in 2026. What, 3 years out?
Yeah,
like
almost
2 years out. Almost 3 years out from the general election.
The
2 years out from the
started.
primary. I don't want Gavin Newsom to be the nominee. No. I really don't want Gavin Newsom to win it. I honestly, maybe even anyone else to get it other than that guy.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I'm not going to give a shit about like what somebody says about who they're going to vote for right now. That's a conversation to be had like 6 months before the general.
And it's like, it's fucking Gavin Newsom. Yes. Like Gavin Newsom, the guy who said he doesn't want the billionaire tax in California. Like that Gavin Newsom.
Maybe we've been guilty of it as well, but so many people are acting like he is the nominee because right now it looks like he is the nominee, but I don't want that to be a reality.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have to be, man. You could pluck anyone off the street and they would be better than Gavin Newsom.
Huge.
I just like, what? Why are we demanding so many people not criticize Gavin Newsom in this moment? The only thing Gavin Newsom has really done the past year is hire an intern that's mean to Trump online.
Exactly. And Gavin Newsom, not him.
It's not him.
Condemn it on his podcast and be like, yeah, I guess we went a little too hard. All he's doing is inviting Republicans and talking about how like, yeah, you're not as bad as I thought you were.
I think with the unpopularity of Republicans right now, there is a real opportunity in 26 and 28 to elect people that genuinely want to see substantive political and economic change happen in this country. But for the people that are out here defending Newsom right now, they're going to bat for a guy who is only ever going to fiddle with the knobs and maintain the same neoliberal order that got us here in the first place.
Yeah.
And the worst part of all of that is that he's fucking Gavin Newsom. It's Gavin Newsom, California's resident slimeball, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, we really got some like shit contenders right now.
Yeah, well, the top ones are Newsom and Harris.
It's like, it's Newsom, Harris, and people are talking about Shapiro, people are talking about Whitmer, and it's like, that's the four horsemen of the apocalypse right there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want any of those people. I want a completely different slate.
Yeah.
There are rumors that Alyssa Slotkin might run.
Kill me
Brother,
now.
kill me. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to have to deal with that world. I want to lay the groundwork right now so I can be proud of like voting for somebody instead of getting to the elections I spoke before and being like, yeah, I guess they're better than JD Vance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they're better than Ron DeSantis.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess they're better than Nikki Haley. Yeah, I guess they're better than whatever fucking idiot the Republicans put up. Like, oh my God.
It really is just like, you can't criticize Democrats 3 years from an election, but you also can't criticize Democrats during an election year.
Yeah.
There's no point at which it's acceptable to ever criticize Democrats because you could be helping Republicans win, so you just need to shut up and get in line.
It's like, it's fucking like liberals. And I'm saying liberals like a slur because honestly, like, yes. Like liberals derogatory, get on the internet, and the second that anyone isn't falling in line behind their presumptive nominee 3 years before an election, they get furious and they unleash the floodgates and they don't let anyone hear the end of it. And they act like you're the guy that's doing the fascism right now. Most of the people that liberals get mad at for not wanting to vote for Gavin Newsom in 2028 are people that ultimately did say you should vote for Kamala Harris in 2024.
Yeah.
What happened with Kamala Harris is like, she sucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
she
like, she just wasn't great.
No, man.
And I better than Trump. Better than Trump. I will say that. I said go vote for Kamala Harris. I was a part of the K-Hive. I was falling from that goddamn coconut tree. But like, we were in a shitty position.
Yeah.
And I had to advocate for the thing that would get us to not here. And now that we are here and we have 3 years to build up something new, I'm going to advocate for the building up something new before I go like, yeah, I'm going to vote for Gavin Newsom. Because like, yeah, you know?
And that's the whole thing with like 2020 and electing Joe Biden, right? Like, obviously Joe Biden, any Democrat was set up to win that election because Trump fucked up with COVID and a number of other things that was making him increasingly unpopular. And then Biden comes in, gets elected. I don't even think, I mean, sure, some people say 2020 is close. I personally think that any Democrat probably could have won that race. Joe Biden ran from the basement, yada, yada, yada.
It's the same reason why like Trump won 2024. It's like nobody's coming out of that recovery. Nobody's coming out of the Bidenflation that was happened. No matter who was the president, would have been their nameflation. Like, that's just the situation. And Trump had to deal with COVID. Nobody's going to recover from COVID. There was the anti-incumbency wave that happened. There was the COVID wave that happened. Like, it's just, that's kind of the forces that shape people's lives that make them reflect badly on whatever government is ruling them.
But I think the point that I wanted to make is that, like, Biden comes in, he wins the election, and he's unable to govern in a way that alleviates the conditions that brought Trump and this wave of fascist sentiment to power in the first place. And it lays the ground for Trump winning then in 2024 because, of course, Kamala Harris ran essentially the Biden campaign and nothing fundamentally changed with her. So people went back to Donald Trump. And that's the place that we're in right now. It almost doesn't matter that Biden was president for 4 years. Everything that he might have done is getting actively unraveled right now. No, literally. And if we go with a guy like Gavin Newsom, the same shit's going to happen. Yeah, he can talk better than Joe Biden, but all of his beliefs are essentially aligned with Republicans.
And look at the Republicans he brings onto his podcast and then agrees with.
Exactly.
Dog, like Gavin Newsom is awful. Yeah. He is like the worst, and I want to fight against him being the nominee.
Yeah.
And we're like, if we allow like people to do this like right now, right? If we allow people to get mad at you for saying you don't want to vote for Gavin Newsom right now in the beginning of 2026, we haven't even hit Valentine's Day yet, folks. In the beginning of 2026, what happens when you get to the primary and Gavin Newsom is polling ahead? They're going to say we're trying to split the base. They're going to say, oh, we should just rally behind the candidate right now because we need to spend as much time as we can campaigning against JD Vance or whoever the nominee is, instead of like actually doing democracy. That's what we're gonna have to deal with. Yeah, it sucks.
Well, that's my thing, is like, it feels like Democrats just hate democracy.
Yeah.
Like, they hate doing the primary process because they don't know how to contend with the party fighting itself. And my answer would be, it's not infighting because Gavin Newsom's not in. I think my favorite take on Gavin Newsom so far has been from Christian Devine, one of our mutuals on TikTok. He essentially said, like, it's not a litmus test against Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is evil. That's not a litmus test. He's just evil. So, like, yeah, man, I'm going to advocate against him. And I think the role of the left when it comes to electoralism, and, you know, I think back to how we talked about Biden and Harris in 2024. And there are times where I think, like, yeah, we probably should have gone harder on demanding a primary. Not that we could have changed the outcome.
Yeah,
but just morally.
I don't regret it, but there are some things that I think about and it's like hindsight. You know?
Yeah, no, exactly. But like, when we're looking ahead at this primary, I think the goal needs to be choosing someone who we are most capable of fighting every day.
Yeah.
Because the left clearly is not going to get an ideal candidate. Because, like, who's a fucking ideal candidate for the left? Like, Rashida Tlaib, she's not going to win the primary, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So our goal has to be getting somebody who we are most comfortable with fighting every single day. The person we think we can push the most, that person is simply not Gavin Newsom. In no world is that Gavin Newsom. We might be able to push JD Vance easier than we push Gavin Newsom. Because Gavin Newsom's just evil, dude. He's a bad guy.
He sucks.
Yeah.
And just to like circle back to like Hassan and like what Hassan said, like he said he'd rather vote third party. A principled anti-third party voter here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That shit is fucking stupid. But it occupies a place rhetorically. When you go out there and you use your platform to say, I don't want to vote for this guy, I would vote for somebody else, you're not dissuading people from voting. You're saying vote third party, as stupid as voting third party is. Guys, it's a strategy to say that. It's a strategy to say that, to put that in people's minds that Gavin Newsom isn't the only option.
I think, but Hassan probably knows what he's doing with the platform that he has, saying, I'm not going to vote for Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
We can kind of say whatever because we got like 10,000 listeners.
Yeah.
We're not swinging any elections is what I'm trying to say. Maybe a small municipal election we could swing. But I think clearly there he and others are employing a strategy to say I'm going to withhold votes unless the Democrats like don't pick Gavin Newsom. And I think right now it's incredibly reasonable to say, hey, please don't pick Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, because please don't pick Gavin Newsom, guys. Yeah. I'm saying this earnestly.
Yeah, and like if he and other lefties get on the Democrat train and eventually vote for the harm reduction candidate, who knows, right? Like we're not in the election year. 2028 is still very far away.
That's something to contend with when we're actually in the election year.
Yeah.
If and only if Gavin Newsom becomes a nominee. And Hassan, 2 weeks before the election, I'm voting third party. That's it. You can't change me. Then I'll be like, okay, maybe not.
Yeah. No,
right now, it's so different.
Yeah.
Right now, the conditions are so different. You can do that. You can do that and get it in people's heads that we have options because we're supposed to have options.
And it's just like Gavin Newsom sucks. Like I can't express this enough, man. He hunts the homeless for sport. He is just a Republican, but in like blue paint. Like that's what he is, dude. He's evil.
Look at his fucking podcast, man. Not everybody should have a podcast. Podcasting equipment should have been banned after we bought it in 2020.
And that's just huge.
And that's the take.
That ends the episode for today. So to end off, we will read our 5-star reviews over on the great app of Spotify.
Shouts out.
If you want your review read on the show, you absolutely know where to go, Spotify or Apple, and we will read them. This first one from Captain Butt Piece.
Shouts out.
the leader of the Revolutionary Vanguard. 5 out of 5 stars. I condemn every form of political violence. These two quirked up white boys really know how to bust down some political commentary, sexy style, on this NSFW 17 compliant podcast. These two always have straight W takes. I find myself eagerly awaiting every episode drop after obtaining the honor of the official HITO leader of the revolution.
And it's true, guys. It's true.
I figured it was my time to leave a review, and my first order is for all to join arms in the HITO army. The one and only Captain Buttby. Captain Buttby, man.
Captain Buttby, thank you.
Captain of the Revolutionary Vanguard. You've been appointed. You've been called upon by your people.
You've been called upon by God. You're here. This is divine.
This is divine. Captain Buttby, I'll follow you into the revolution.
I mean, the real Jesus Christ comes before you in the Patreon list. It goes the real Jesus Christ, then Captain Buttby. I think that's saying something, folks. This next one from Gary Hogard. 5 out of 5 conservative family members bitching about Bad Bunny for no reason this Sunday. So hyped to get back into my favorite tertiary news source where people understand that good things are good and bad things are bad.
So true.
There's a lot of people in my home state of Idaho that don't seem to grasp that concept. Thanks for the base takes and for wadding through the wasteland that modern news has become so that I don't have to. P.S. It seems clear to me that one is Jeremy and that one is Gage. That you got it right.
And we are Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
This next one from Sam Nelson, 10 out of 10 stars for my favorite quirked up white boys. HITO keeps me sane in the moderate Democrat homeland of Maryland. I recently updated my Patreon tier to the Clinton tier. Maybe time to change the name based on the files. Oh, so true. Just so I could have my name as close to Captain Buttby as possible. Keep up the great work. Yeah, but like head in the office is just making fun of that.
Well, exactly. It's the
not
absurdity
the files,
of American.
But
it's the absurdity of American politics. Like that hearing was way more like serious than this hearing, and that hearing was about head and in like the office.
When we picked this name in 2021, we could not have known.
Never could I have predicted that all this was going to happen, man.
Yeah, so you can't blame us. And
what a country we have.
For brand consistency's sake, we can't change it.
Yeah, guys, we're locked in. We're locked in now. This next one from Lucas E. 5 out of 5 stars. My TikTok page is now entirely just alternating rounds of HITO and the CIA guy with the voice filter. Every day I'm amazed by how a country can be capable of so much seriousness and yet so much harm. Are you talking about the CIA guy?
John Kirikow? Yeah.
Yes,
dude, he's awesome.
He's been on my For You page too.
Dude, every time I see John Kirikow on my For You page, he's always telling a different story.
Yes.
He's always like, crazy. I had to pretend to have gay sex with this guy.
Yeah, I saw that one too. He's like, whenever somebody came knocking on the door, it was get your clothes off and get in the bed because you're gay for a couple minutes.
Could the CIA just disappear me? You bet they could. And we have.
And then I saw one where he's like, Israel is the most dangerous fucking spy agency ever. He was like, yeah, they got Israel plants all over the CIA, all over the places around. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? He said Israel's always trying to bug our shit every time they show up, so much so that we had to meet with them like offsite all the time. I'm like, God damn.
Dude, I saw this one where he was asked, like, have you ever killed anyone? He's like, no. And I'm very proud to say I've never killed anyone, except this one eensy-weensy exception. And then he explains how he got someone killed.
He said he like got called up by like General Mark Milley.
Some general,
but some other general who I'd heard the name of. And he's like, you know about this guy? And he's like, yeah, he's here. And then they sent an airstrike and killed a janitor. And he's like, that's the one time I got somebody. And he's so matter of fact about this all.
Yeah.
There was one where he was talking about like, I think a lie detector test. And he's like, one of the questions were, have you ever had sex with a man? And I was like, no.
Dude, every time I see him, he's cooking.
It's fucking funny.
And like this is exactly what I think every CIA agent is like.
Yes.
Just insane and full of stories. And that's how I know Slotkin's hiding her full potential.
100%. Man,
she's got some,
should have started a podcast. It'd be like that. But at least John Kirikow, he's the guy that like blew the whistle on torture, right?
Yeah.
So like he's got a bona fide. Like he at least did something. And I saw another fucking TikTok because he's been all over my fucking page where he was talking about like when the torture was first going down at the CIA, and he was approached by somebody who was like, do you want to learn enhanced interrogation techniques? And he's like, that sounds like torture. And he was talking to his higher up who was like, yeah, it's just torture, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And he's like, that's illegal. And he was describing different torture methods that the CIA was engaging in. And he's like, and I'm the only one who ever went to jail for it.
Dude, he's iconic. I love him. He's so funny.
Funny guy, man.
Oh, man. Anyways, that ends off the episode for today. I hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure to comment. If you enjoyed it, comment down below. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. If you made it this far, comment, I made it this far.
Exactly. I enjoyed it. I made it this far. And let us know what you think of the show, because we're always evolving and changing.
We're always evolving and trying to do better for you.
Yeah. And I should say, the Patreon poll finished. The next book we're going to read in review for this show, probably like in March or something, is Josh Shapiro's Where We Keep the Light.
Yeah. Whew, what a doozy. I got to prepare myself for that.
The only thing I'm really looking forward to is the Mossad allegations.
Oh, yes.
But I fear that's only going to occupy like maybe one chapter.
Absolutely. The rest of it's going to just be drivel.
Yeah.
100%. And I got to say, when it comes to Josh Shapiro, I'll say this again when you do the book review so it gets more coverage. We have been victims of and perpetrators of misinformation when it comes to this guy. It's crazy. I thought that he signed bombs that went to Israel, right?
Yeah.
He didn't. He signed bombs that went to Ukraine, but I would contend that that's not like much better.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, those bombs aren't used for a genocide, but like, don't sign bombs.
Yeah, don't sign bombs. That looks bad. And I think the reason we got it mixed up is because the picture of him signing the bomb is often next to Nikki Haley signing a bomb that did go to Israel.
Yes.
Shout out Nikki Haley. She Nikki out my Haley. And so that we mixed those two up and we thought they were both going to Israel. No, Josh Shapiro did not sign a bomb that went to Israel. That being said, he is an avowed Zionist.
Well, and I think, not to like, because like there were two bits of misinformation I corrected this episode. The one about torture guy, which I defended because like you're not good either way.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make you look good either way. And like this one, but like the fact that like he has Mossad agent allegations, like that's got to be a point in my favor for thinking that he would have done that, right? Like if we're being fucking real, like a guy who the vice president is questioning about being a Mossad agent before she interviews him to be the vice president, like if you got that kind, if you're moving with that kind of aura, I'm gonna think you signed a bomb to Israel if you're signing a bomb.
He also covered up a homicide.
That's crazy too.
He also covered up a homicide. He
talks about that?
Definitely. Well, no, because he'd go to jail.
No, not like be like, oh my God, that what? Because like what was it like the woman got stabbed in the back like fucking 90 something times, not like 19 times she was stabbed in the back in her apartment, and he was like, she killed herself.
Yeah. Number one Josh Shapiro moment. Another reason he can also never run for president, because that shit would be bad.
No, for sure. And I would be making it bad. Yeah. I would be out here screaming about it.
We shouldn't run candidates with glaring issues.
Who'd have thought?
Call me a strategist.
Who would have
Anyways, time to thank our patrons.
Yeah, we got to give a special thanks to Caden Kraut, Chris the Postman, Chrissy Beck, Mike Czuplinski, Clayton LaFed, Mark Yeager, Mark Yeager, Caleb Joy, Richard Toro, Tari, Fergalaki, Max Vesquez, Jacob Rogers, Colton Mooberry, Fixer Punk, Jim Egbers, Big Burrito, Cincy Elks, Joe Stentrum, Adrian Sandoval, Chloe Sam 601, Colleen Kutch, Jennifer DeVoe, Croft Fishin, Bennington III, Alexia Benanti, Big Booty Beatdown, Sam Maloney, Ted Cruiserboy, Toy, Dictator Jace, Luke O'Shea, Tucker Tarleson, Danielle Jackson, The Word of Microsoft, Jennifer Science, Aaron and his Gundams, Darth Father, Tailored for Content, Corey Chambers, Retro Mondo, Veronica, aka V, Raxon, Ash Smith, The Grotler, Murder in a Trenchcoat, Casey Lynn Kelly, AK Ghana, Guana Don, Zach Lantian, Austin Greif, Marcus Corbett, Caleb Roper, Taylor Rensock, Cammy, Tylen Freeman, Isaac Hodges, Menelin C, Anna Vlinick, Casey C, Say Yes to West, August, Particular Pickman, Sir Capula, Jess Signs, Brendan is Egg, Froggy Gumchop, Jackie Boy, Shameless, Coherent Babbles, MJ is Sharp, Michaela Muncie, The Wallace 3000, Chris T, Kashan Lala, Amanda R, Tyler J, Particulon, Memprez, Rhonda Stiletto, Midwest Marks, Joe the Mailman, Gary from West Michigan, Shawnee GG, Juniper Not Jupiter, Stat Crabs, I Crowley, Urban Peach, Lord of Forlorn, Hope Forsyth, Booty Snakes, Dew Fairy, Chelceratops,
Austin Lima, Lane Waltz, Gorgeous Girl Mukes, Brooklyn G, Noverta Dastardly, Goldthorn, Addy Book, Merlin, Cryo Bongi, Sergeant Pookie, Hoodie, Rose Grimm, Kristen, Jamie the Young Extremist, Jack the Heathen, Archer W, Evan Mingo, AJ Torres, Elo Nico, Jake Hall, Seth Schmidt, Noah Sajas, Majawat, Ultra the Dragon, Mercy Boku, Dick Cheney and 6 Inch Heels, Luke Wechter, Henry Kraggles, Tristan Rinksmith, Yaya, Asura the Atheist, Aiden Reese, Deep State Agent, Puddle Pirate, Southern Lefty, Lark 61, KC, Cannon Man, Troy H, Wark Muffalo, Nahan San Diego, Nut Mode, Nick from New Haven, Connor Nick, Sound Logic, Sleven, I've Never Made a Woman Orgasm, John from Houston, Jordino, Haley Weibold, Pablo Vasquez, Nurse Jen, Soul DJ, Maple Big Dog, CIA Small Creators Fun, Taylor from Burnt Down Minneapolis, Northeast Nick, Aya, Retired AF and SC, Wolfer G, Gayest Worm, Niles Chamberlain, Sugar Free Baja Blast, Kristen the Leftist Nurse, Fake Airplane, TJ Loves Colleen, Mothman's Gay Lover, Real Jesus Christ, Queerla, Carter Gethin, Blue 92, 1000 Miniature Horses, Will Grant, Gay for Jeremy, Hail Libertas, Walter Vonder Vogelwide, Rad Dene, Captain Butt P,
Huge,
Cam Toki, Chef Sam, Mexplique, Mealy Ducard, Call Me Bubba the Way I Receive HITO, Gina, a platypus named Icarus, and my mom. Thank you all so much for supporting the show on Patreon.
We probably forgot to read some of those names. If we forgot to leave your name, please leave it in the comments of this video, and I will add it to the list this time. I promise.
They'll leave it on the Patreon comments.
Leave it on the Patreon comments. That's what I meant. Yeah, preferably leave it on the comment of the most recent video, which would be this one, before the next most recent video comes up on Monday.
So true. We also have the bonus episode dropping on Friday.
Oh, leave it on the comment of this one that you're listening to right now, or I may forget.
Just DM us on Patreon. DM us on Patreon, and we'll get it sorted out. But anyways, thank you for listening.
Have a great weekend.
See you next time.